If your team got guaranteed money, tell them call me.
Whoop. Make me say, my. I done been around the world.
Yeah, I was made for this.
Player Performance with J.A. Cavalier.
Welcome back to NFL Player Performance. I, of course, am J.A. Cavalier, your favorite capper's favorite capper. Go ahead, smash the like button. Thumbs up. Appreciation, always appreciated. Of course, I appreciate you guys the most. Be sure to tell a friend, and make sure that friend is also telling a friend. Because if you're not telling a friend, are you really, truly a friend? If you're new, welcome. Now go ahead and subscribe. Guys, again, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notify. Make sure you're alerted every week. I am doing this every single week. I tell you who I like, tell you why I like them, hopefully making you a smarter player along the way. Yes, Bernsey, except for last week. Last week I was off. But I'm back here now. I'm back. We're ready to roll. We're going to get to NFL Week 15 just a sec. First, let's recap last week with Tessa Hall.
Back it up. One more time.
All right, let's see that again.
Here's your NFL Week 14 recap. Who buttered up the Monday Night Football balls? It looked like they oiled them up for a kiddie pool wrestling match. The Chiefs are dead. The dynasty is over. Parades are reportedly spilling into the streets. Even in a new era of Bears football, they're still haunted by the Green Bay Packers. So the Rams took that Panthers loss pretty personally and took it out on the poor Cardinals. The Raiders actually showed fight. That or the Broncos just all got food poisoning before the game. Nothing like Mike McDaniel maybe saving his job by killing the Jets. Joe Burrow plays like an MVP. His defense bends him over. Stop me if you've heard that before. Okay, wait, JJ McCarthy played well. Should we investigate the Vikings for mass pet usage? The Bucs have been baked. Todd Bowles is already fielding the help wanted ads. Mike Tomlin is going to skate his way to another 550-win season and keep his job and keep Steelers fans miserable. Pour one out for Daniel Jones. He's still alive but doesn't have much of a leg to stand on. When the Falcons lay their heads to sleep, they will see images of Jason dancing into the end zone. That's your NFL Week 14 recap.
So there's a lot going on in the NFL right now. From Stefanski talking about leaving Cleveland to Joe Burrow maybe hinting he wants out of Cincinnati. A lot going on. More so that division. Crazy. The demise of that division. I mean, mind how the mighty have formed once one of the best, if not the best, divisions in the AFC. Now all of a sudden, trouble. Lamar Jackson doesn't look the same. The Ravens don't look the same. The Pittsburgh Steelers are still quarterbackless. And there's also talks about Tomlin maybe leaving. So a conference in disarray. Last week, I was in a little bit of disarray. Tampa Bay Buccaneers just screwed me over on my 30-dime. And the big plays were up and down. That was the big play that hurt because we had a real chance to make a stamp, real chance to hit the books on the weekend. We smashed 30 dimes on Saturday. That was easy, no doubt. I mean, you're talking about no doubt wire to wire, point spread cover, Georgia Bulldogs. They went up early and never looked back. And then on Sunday, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that's broken, just couldn't win, couldn't beat the Saints. And I get it, New Orleans playing better. I didn't need them to cover. I just needed them to win the game. Buffalo Bills, I did have a small play on the Bills. Bills came back, ended up taking an 11-point lead in that game, and they end up winning the game by 5. Also, the Ravens. Ravens, listen, it's broken, but it did start to look better later in the game once Lamar started running the ball. Amazing how that works, right? Listen, I get it. Maybe you're trying to prove to everybody else or even to yourself that you can beat teams from the pocket. Guess what? You can't. You can't. If you're not mobile, your offense isn't moving. And as soon as you started getting mobile, your offense started moving. Now, had you done that from jump, had you did that from the kickoff, you know what? Outcome would have been a lot different. Seahawks rolled over the Atlanta Falcons. Jaguars outright. I did have a play on the Jaguars in a nice little 2-team teaser with the Los Angeles Rams. That, of course, smashed. Miami Dolphins. I didn't play the game itself. It was kind of weird the way that one worked, right? And I think that was for a lot of bettors, right? A lot of people were on the Jets early because the weather was supposed to be really bad in Jersey. And then, you all know the story, how Tua is in the cold weather. So that's going to be a fade on Monday night. Obviously, you don't want to fade the Dolphins on Monday night because it's going to be in the teens in Pittsburgh. Tua just doesn't play well, 30 degrees and under, just terrible, right? But it ended up not being that bad of weather in New Jersey, and you saw how that one ended up. The Dolphins absolutely rolled the Flyboys down to the third-string quarterback. That team's in trouble, but maybe they're just tanking. I don't know. Saints beat the Bucs, like I said, ended up beating them outright. Well, it came down to a bunch of things. The rain, Baker Mayfield didn't look right. Ibuka dropped the pass that could have been a touchdown. Godwin juggled the ball on the sideline that would have given him a first down and extended that game. Vikings ended up blowing out the Commanders. Really no words. Listen, I did say a couple weeks ago it would be malpractice to bring back Jaden Daniels at any point this season. And, of course, they brought him back, and then, of course, they lost him. So now they brought him back twice so far, and the immediate game in which they brought him back in, they lost in the same game. Bears, Packers got that one done. Packers ended up winning that game. Late interception in the end zone as the Bears were driving. Hate to see it, man. Just fucking hate to see it. Well, hate to see it if you're a Bears fan. I loved seeing it. Broncos rolled over the Raiders. Everybody is up and ends. Oh, this shit is rigged. Oh, this shit is rigged. Guys, guess what? Right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. You want to be mad at somebody for not covering that game? Be mad at Sean Payton. Because it was Payton not kicking that field goal and going for it on a longer fourth down that actually cost you to cover. So you want to be mad at someone, be mad at Payton. And then I did have the Chiefs, and holy fucking Chiefs. And they had every chance in the world to win that game. Like, you know what? The Texans just couldn't put it away. Texans went up like 10-0 in the first half. Chiefs came skating back in the third quarter, tied the game up. And they tied the game up with multiple possessions where they could have gone ahead and couldn't do so. And then on Monday night, is there anything more like just baffling than Monday Night Football's game, than Monday Night Football? That Eagles-Chargers game? I mean, listen, people are burying Hurts, but those were all tip passes. I can't say that any one of those interceptions was just a clean interception. And I get it, there's 4 of them, but that's just where the ball gets tipped, right? I had the Eagles in that game, and my bigger play in that game was Justin Herbert over 1.5 passing touchdowns. It's crazy to think that they walked down the field on their first drive of the game, working the screen pass, which is open all day against the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, anybody with any sense or anybody who knows ball knows that you can get the screen against an aggressive defense. And yet it works so easily on the first drive, and they didn't go back to it. Make that fucking make sense. Anyway, all we could ever do is look ahead. The windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror for a reason, right? So the future's bright. Thursday Night Football, we do have the Atlanta Falcons and Tampa Bay Bucks, but this is already going to be aired by the time that game goes. So let's move on, man. We're going to get to NFL Week 15. The money train, well, didn't stop at any stations last week. Well, actually deposited. It made a deposit. But we're back this week. NFL Week 15. Let's go.
Browns at Bears.
Bears are laying 8. The total here is at 39. Now, I could tell you with almost certainty what the front end of every teaser is going to be this week, and Chicago is going to be in them, but not for me. I actually think the Cleveland Browns are live in this game. Look, I get it. The Bears, lights out versus Green Bay. And yes, they lost that game, but it really felt more like a win, like a confident booster. You went in division on the road in Green Bay, and you played them down to the last play, right? Like, if not for that interception in the end zone, they might still be playing that game. But now laying 8 points, I can't do it. Give me the Browns. Look, I trust that Browns defensive front. I trust Myles Garrett. And by the way, shout out to Garrett, right? 2.5 sacks from tying the record. Now, do you know how hard it must be to come out and compete week after week? He just comes out, laces them up, and he's doing it for such a dysfunctional franchise. You have to respect that. You have to respect that guy. So just a big attaboy to Myles Garrett. So give me the Browns. And look, if I can get some bad weather in Chicago, I'm definitely in on this. And you have to stop blowing fucking Caleb Williams enough already. Yes, all of a sudden, all the the Bears fans, out of the fucking woodworks. Yes, I agree. The offense has been much better, but it isn't him. It's the running game. It's the Ben Johnson effect, not Caleb Williams. He isn't top 10 in anything, not yards, not touchdowns. He's 19th in QBR. Enough about Caleb Williams. Chicago's going to have to run the ball. And look, that's fine with me. You burn the clock. You limit possessions. I'm perfectly fine with that. I also think that the Browns are live in this game. They may end up sneaking. Remember, the Bears have the Packers on deck, right? So this is the perfect look-ahead spot. This is an inexperienced team fighting for the playoffs. I can absolutely see them getting caught up this week with the look-ahead. Give me the Browns plus the points.
Ravens at Bengals.
Ravens are laying 2. The total here is at 51.5. Give me the over. I mean, it's really the over here or nothing. I would love to back the Ravens in this spot, but I'm just not there yet. I don't think I can do it. So what I will do and what I can do is I'm going to take the over. Look, you have Joe Burrow, and Burrow is fucking balling. 2 games back, he put up 34 and 32 points, 6 touchdowns. And they needed every single point in those games because the defense is absolutely fucking ass. 32nd in scoring, 32nd in yards allowed, dead last in defensive success rate. Last week, Burrow puts up 34 points, and the defense gave up 39. Now, I know that was Buffalo in Buffalo, and I know that I've been critical of Lamar Jackson, but in the loss to Pittsburgh, Lamar remembered that he has to run to be successful. He started moving midway through the game, and oddly, so did the offense. Now, what's going to happen, he's going to carry that into this week, and if he's running early, then it's going to be trouble because what happens? He starts running, that opens up lanes for Henry, which also opens up the play action pass down the field to Flowers. That's what they need to get. And of course, they're not going to stop Joe Burrow in that offense. Both teams should be able to go back and forth and score points. Give me the over, what is it, 51.5? Like it, love it, lock it in.
Chargers at Chiefs.
Chiefs are laying 4. The total here is at 41.5. Look, I'm on the Chiefs here. I'm going to lay the points. Look, I know, I get it, but hear me out. Yeah, they're struggling right now, and they're doing some very un-Chief-like things. All the tip balls, the penalties, the turnovers, but there's still a lot to play for this team. There's a ton on the line, and if nothing else, just the opportunity to play spoiler. The Chargers, they're looking at a division title. LA just played a marathon game against the Eagles on Monday night, so it's a short week, and they made a billion mistakes in that game. They really shouldn't have won the game. 3 turnovers last week, and now you have Herbert with one hand on the road in cold weather against that Kansas City defense. Kansas City's 7th in scoring allowed. They're 9th in yards allowed. Everyone boasts about the young backs in San Diego, LA, for the Chargers. And don't get me wrong, listen, I like Amarian, I like Vidal, but you don't run the ball on Kansas City. They're top 10 in rushing defense, allowing 7th fewest yards in the league. My biggest trigger is this line. The number really does say it all, right? Because the number doesn't make sense. The Chiefs right now, with the way they've been playing, shouldn't be laying 4 points to anyone. But yet, here they are. They're laying 4 points. And for me, that speaks louder than anything else. Give me the Chiefs, lay the points.
J.A. Cavaliers Pro Football Triple Crown. 3 NFL games for this Sunday. 3 straight, 3 two-team parlays, 1 week, $99. His Pro Football Triple Crown must go 3-0 or the entire NFL season is free. J.A. Cavaliers Pro Football Triple Crown. Link in the description below. Click the link now and jump on the money train.
Commanders at Giants.
Giants are laying 2.5. The total here is at 47. Bertie's is laughing. Yeah, Giants are laying 2.5. You know exactly how bad the Commanders are when I'm going to lay points with the Giants, right? Jaden Daniel out for the game. And look, I did say this a couple of weeks ago, and I have to reinstate it. It would be malpractice to bring Daniels back this season. They had no purpose of doing so, and yet they did. And of course, he got hurt in the same game they brought him back in. Make no fucking sense. Washington 1-9 their last 10, 2-8 against the spread as underdogs this season. Last week was all you need to see. Last week was it. If you watched nothing else from Washington without Jaden Daniels, and even in the game, he looked like shit. 31-0 to the Vikings. The Vikings are a team that's led by J.J. McCarthy, and they beat you by 31. So forgive me if I think Jackson Dart is going to actually go nuke in this game. Give me the Giants, lay the points. This is great.
Raiders at Eagles.
Eagles are laying 11.5. The total here is at 38. Look, give me the Eagles. I mean, Hurts could come out, throw 10 interceptions, fumble the ball 5 times, and I would still be betting the Eagles in this spot. Philly needs a bounce back, a get right, a slump buster, the end of the night girl, the end of the bar girl. The good news is if your squad needs to practice your offense, this would be that game, right? The Raiders would be the defense that you're looking for. 24th in scoring, 24th in defensive success. 11.5 is a big number. I get it, but I have no reservations in this game. Raiders have double-digit losses in 3 of their last 4 games. And let's be honest, last week was also like a double-digit loss. I get it. They kicked the fucking field goal. And those who bet the Broncos, look, you want to be mad at someone, be mad at Peyton, right? Be mad at Peyton for not kicking the field goal, for going forward on a 4th and long when it really had no business. He was just killing clock. I have no problems laying the point in this spot. Philly doesn't just win. I think Philly crushes in this game.
Jets at Jaguars.
Jaguars laying 13. The total here is at 41.5. So there's a lot of low totals this week and a lot of big point spreads. Make that make sense, and I will. Jaguars laying the 13. Look, can we please stop, seriously stop all this fucking Jacksonville and Duvall hate? 4 straight wins, 2 of those against the Chargers and Colts. And by the way, Trevor Lawrence right now is balling the fuck out. 729 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in his last 3 games. His QBR over 105 in the last 2. And now he gets this Jets defense, a defense that traded away Sauce Gardner, a defense that got rid of Quinnen Williams. By the way, Jet fans, I know you like yourself some Sauce. I mean, all of us fat fucks like our Sauce, especially the ones in Jersey, but it was the right move. And it's not like this defense was good with them. 27th in scoring, 29th in rushing yards. I can promise you that this Jets team has officially cashed out, right? Lost 3 of 4, 7 of 10, and the Jaguars are playing for a division title. Liam Cohen, look, the man's just built different. The culture, the mindset. Maybe I was just first to the party and now everybody's catching on, but just stop. Jaguars have covered in 4 straight. This is going to make it 5. Stop hating on fucking Jacksonville. The Jaguars are good, man. Sunshine's getting it done, and that defense is absolutely legit.
Cardinals at Texans.
Texans are laying 9.5. The total here is at 42.5. Give me Houston, lay the points. Look, I don't love laying big numbers in the NFL, but in a spot like this, you have to. The Cardinals are done. The honeymoon phase with Brissett, it's over. It's like the worst thing you could have done was name Brissett the starter. He was balling. He just beat the Cowboys, and then that following week, you name him the starter for the rest of the season. And all that's happened since then, 5 straight losses, 3 of which by at least 19 points. Now, look, C.J. Stroud, love him or hate him, and I certainly don't love him. Who cares? You know what I mean? I could play quarterback with this Texan defense behind me, and I'm still going to win games. They're first in yards allowed, first in scoring. Last 3 weeks, they played the Colts, the Bills, the Chiefs, and haven't given up 20 points. The Cardinals haven't scored 20 in back-to-back weeks. 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. I don't see it getting any better for Arizona. Give me the Texans in this spot. I'll lay the number.
Packers at Broncos.
Packers are laying 2. The total here is at 43. Could be the best game of the day. You have the 1 seed in the AFC going up against the 2 seed in the NFC. Give me the 2 seed in the NFC. I'm going to be on the Packers. I like the game. I don't love it. Packers are by far the best team that the Broncos have faced, right? Yes, the Broncos have been winning games, but even when they win games, they haven't really been all that impressive. Defenses are nearly the same. They're both top 5 in scoring, both top 5 in yards, both top 10 in passing, both top 10 in rushing. So it comes down to quarterback play. And yeah, sad to say, but I trust Jordan Love more than I trust Bo Nix. So give me the Packers. I'll take the Pack with this one. And I would say go Pack, go, but fuck the Packers. I'm still going to take them, though.
Tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling.
Lions at Rams.
Rams are laying 6. The total here is at 55. Think about that. The total here is at 55, and it probably still goes over, but I'm on Detroit plus the points. Listen, you have the number 1 scoring offense in the league, averaging 30 a game, and you're giving me a touchdown? You have to take it. That's just disrespectful. Detroit, top 3 in DVOA. They don't turn the ball over. They don't beat themselves. Gibbs and Montgomery, 2-headed monster, pounding for 5 yards per carry. And remember, the way to beat the Rams is to keep the ball on the ground and run the ball. But Goff is playing well as well. And you know what? Another thing we want to talk about Goff, you know where you go against Goff. On the road in the cold weather. Not here, not in L.A. This is his old stomping grounds. A place that he's familiar with. And indoors, Goff, top 5 in yards, top 2 in touchdowns, 70% completions. Look, you're not going to blow a team out that's this explosive. And guess what? They're rested. 10 days to prepare for this game. Last 2 times these two have met, it was decided by 7 total points. This game is going to be another shootout, and you know how it goes. When it comes to the shootout, the dog always eats. Take the points, take the value, take the lines. Let's go.
Panthers at Saints.
Panthers are laying 2.5, and the total here is at 40.5. And this number is telling you all you need to know. And my play on this game really is just a bet on the number. Give me the Saints plus the points. Panthers are fighting for the division. The Saints are bottom feeders, and yet the line is under a field goal. Then it touched 3, and sharp money brought it back down. Listen, Tyler Shuck, I'm just saying, might have a chance to be somebody. If nothing else, he has a career as a backup in the NFL. I know he did it with his legs last week against Tampa, but you know what? He did it on the road. Did it on the road against Tampa, did it on the road against Miami. You know, we talked about tanking, but watching last week, this isn't that. Kellen Moore is trying to build a culture. And when you think about it, how do you build culture? You build culture with effort. You build culture when the team actually gets up for and plays for its coach. Well, you know what? This team is doing that. When bad teams fighting, when they really have nothing to fight for, that's building culture. And the Saints, they're doing it, man. This is a bad spot for Carolina. Carolina fighting for the division, looking ahead to Tampa in Week 16. And really, that's the only game that's going to matter. So it's going to be the Saints or nothing for me. And don't forget this, right? Carolina can't count on Dowdle anymore. He's not running well. Matter of fact, I think he's losing his job or starting job now. The one he took from Chuba Hubbard is probably going back to Chuba Hubbard because Chuba Hubbard is the more explosive back and does things out of the backfield, in the passing game that Dowdle just can't do. So we're probably going to see that happening either this week or next. Look, haven't had a 100-yard rusher in 4 straight games. That means Bryce Young has to beat you. And I'm not sure that he's capable of doing so. He's 22nd in passing yards, 16th in touchdowns, 24th in QBR. Guys, give me the Saints. I know it's ugly, it's hard, it's uncomfortable, but I'm going to take the Saints at home. Obviously, you want to get this up to 3.5. Maybe put the Saints in your teasers. That's not a bad look, man. You take the Saints up from 2.5 to 8.5. Got to love it.
Titans at 49ers.
Niners are laying 12.5. The total here is at 44.5. Look, another big spread, but this is the time of the year where you actually think or consider laying the points. Early in the season, bad teams, they still have fight. They don't really know exactly how bad they are. But now it actually pays more for these teams to lose. Not only does the playoff picture become a little bit more clear, but so does the draft position. So both teams at the top and the teams at the bottom are all jockeying for position. Yes, the Titans come in off of a win, a feel-good game. But even against Cleveland, you have to remember that the Titans defense still gave up 29 points to the Browns. The Niners, probably the most quiet, good team in the NFL. People forget that they can still win their division. And they're coming in off of a bye week. Offense finally healthy. CMC nearly 1,000, right? So he has nearly 1,000 rushing yards, 1,000 receiving yards, and he's doing that in this day and age. He's doing all of that while they've been shuffling quarterbacks in and out. Give me the Niners. Love the Niners in this spot.
Colts at Seahawks.
Seattle's laying 13.5. The total here is at 42. Old man Rivers, right? We're serious about this. Look, I literally thought that it was a joke. So I turned on ESPN and I saw Rivers in a Colts uniform because he had played there prior, right? And I saw him throwing passes and they're talking about Phillip Rivers coming back. I didn't know it was real. I thought it was a joke, and then I realized it wasn't. So tell me, where are all those Colts fans now? Remember early in the season, we had the guys on X lighting me up for my takes on the Colts and how the Colts sucked and how Daniel Jones would eventually show who he is. And they're acting like he's the next Peyton Manning. Where are they now? Riley Leonard and Phillip Rivers. Good fucking luck. This Seattle defense is terrifying. First in yards per play, second in scoring, aggressive up front. And they're going to be aggressive up front. I get this, against a banged up Leonard or Phillip Rivers, who's 44. 44 fucking years old. He literally has a grandchild. You know, when his grandkids tell their friends that their grandfather actually played in the NFL, and the friends ask how many years ago, and the kid's going to be like, last week. That's crazy, man. Your quarterback is going to be 44 coming back after not playing 5 years. And look, don't get me wrong. I love Phillip Rivers. I love his personality. I liked him as a quarterback. I loved him in San Diego. But come on, man. What the fuck are we doing? Give me Seattle. Seattle's 4th in sacks per game. 1 hit to Rivers. And I'm not sure that this dude's going to stand back up. Give me the Seahawks. Love the Seahawks in this spot. I'll lay the 2 touchdowns.
Vikings at Cowboys.
Cowboys are laying 5.5. The total here is at 47.5. So the Vikings beat a horrible Commanders team. I think the Browns could beat the Commanders right now. Matter of fact, I'm pretty certain the Giants are going to beat the Commanders this week. But look, I'm glad they did, and I'm glad they did so convincingly, because now I'm getting value on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Cowboys should be 7+ in this game. 3-1 their last 4. Wins over Philly and Kansas City. Loss came to Detroit. Are we really going to downgrade the Cowboys for a loss to Detroit in Detroit? The NFC East is still up for grabs. And as long as there's hope, you have to back Dallas in Dallas. How is Minnesota keeping up? Minnesota's offense is absolute trash. 28th in yards, 26th in scoring, 28th in offensive success. I don't care about Brian Flores. I really don't care. Great coach, great DC. Blitz packages galore. I get it. You know what? But you're not stopping Dallas. 3rd in scoring, 1st in yards per game. So what? Against Flores, maybe they go from 400 yards a game to 350 yards. You know what? That's still going to be plenty to cover this game against Minnesota and J.J. McCarthy. Give me the Cowboys. And by the way, Dak for MVP.
J.A. Cavaliers Pro Football Triple Crown. 3 NFL games for this Sunday. 3 straight, 3 two-team parlays, 1 week, $99. His Pro Football Triple Crown must go 3-0 or the entire NFL season is free. J.A. Cavaliers Pro Football Triple Crown. Link in the description below. Click the link now and jump on the money train.
Get to whylose.com. That's a little Y, LOSE.com. Free picks, stats, trends, scores, odds, and more. That's whylose.com. And you can pick up this week's NFL Triple Crown. 3 max bets for Sunday. 3 straight, 3 two-team parlays. 1 week, $99. Must go 3-0 or the entire NFL season is free. I don't see that happening this week. I have a feeling. I have that feeling. You know what? Feeling in my plums. Looking to sweep the board. Break out the brooms. A little winter cleaning. Is that what it is? Winter sweeping? I don't know. Snowblower? Snowblower? Zambonis? Listen, let's put it this way. I feel good about this weekend. I'm looking to sweep the board. Anyway, I'll see you guys back here next week as I break down NFL Week 16. Until then, remember that with your heads, not above them.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my